Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tales from the Fandom, the podcast that brings a special guest out of the multiverse and straight to you. Today's episode is brought to you by In the Reads. In the Reads provides beautiful, affordable artwork of the vibrant worlds found within your favorite books, TV, and films. From all wood bookmarks featuring illustrations and quotes from such fandoms as Star Wars, The Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Outlanders, and more, to fantasy and real-life maps drawn in the style of Tolkien. Go to inthereads.com and check out what is available. Like something? Use code TALES10 at checkout to get 10% off your order. A link will be in the show notes along with the code. And now, let's get to the episode. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest episode of Tales from the Fandom. It is the end of July. I cannot believe that we are here already, and I have another wonderful guest joining me today. I have KK Bracken here, and not only are we going to be talking about some fandoms, but we're going to be talking about a convention that's going to be coming up next year. KK, how are you doing today?
I'm feeling great.
I am so happy to have you. Thank you, because you were one of the few people that reached out to me to ask to be a guest. So, you know, I'm always like hunting down people. It's always nice to have somebody be like, hey, can I be on the podcast? And I'm like, yes. And anybody that emails me is like more than welcome on the podcast.
Well, you came very highly recommended.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Thank you to everybody, or the people in the background that recommended this podcast. And much love to everybody. KK, you have a number of fandoms that we're going to be talking about, and I'm very thrilled to be talking about the convention. Just to put it out there, we're going to be talking about CabbageCon, which you may have been seeing some stuff, especially on my Instagram. I've been sharing ticket stuff a couple months ago, and you know, if you see it, you'll know. I guess, what is it? If you know, you know. That's the thing. So we'll be talking about CabbageCon near the end of the episode, but we're going to start off things with a really new fandom that's really picked up, and as of this recording in May, has not been picked up for a second season yet. And that is Our Flag Means Death on HBO. How did you first get into Our Flag? Because I know for me, I kept seeing it around on Twitter. Like, people were talking about it, and I was like, what is this show that people are talking about? And then they're talking about like what the show is, and I was like, I have to watch this. I got to check this out.
I like could tell you the time and place I was when I first saw my first Our Flag Means Death TikTok. It was, I won't get too detailed because I know you haven't finished it, but it's the end of episode 8. We call it The Foot Touch. And I was a goner. From that moment on, I was a goner.
Now, how, like, so you saw it on TikTok before you even started watching it?
Correct. Yes.
Oh my goodness! And it was that powerful of a moment that just hooked you and was like, you got to watch this now.
So, a lot of why people have latched onto the show. I mean, it's also just fantastic top to bottom, right? This is not the only reason, but a lot of the reason people have latched onto the show is because it's anti-queer baiting. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of lowercase t trauma to be had when you've been a fan of queer fandom for as long as I have, which I was writing Hermione Fleur Delacour fanfiction when I was 12, so it's been quite a while for me. And we've just never had a show like this, ever, where it's not just that we have canonical queer relationships, multiple ones. It's also that the themes and symbolism are also very queer and beautiful, and we get to have both, right? We get to have the symbolism and the explicitness, and the explicit representation, not sexy things. Although there's some of that too, I suppose. So it's, again, it's just so wonderful, and the fandom, my heart sings for it. Honestly, if the show had come out 6 months ago, I'd be doing an Our Flag Means Death con, not an Avatar con, but c'est la vie.
That is one of the things where it's just like timing is so, like, I guess important, but it's also like weird. Like, it's just sometimes these shows come out, it feels like at just the right moment, and it's just like it's got that hook, it's got the thing to where it gets that audience and it just goes bananas. And like what you said with the representation, because I know I've watched many a show where it's like, okay, like it's subtle. They're doing it the subtle thing. They're not doing it explicitly, or you have to read between the lines, but then like at the end they'll change things or they won't confirm things. And I know from the people that I interact with either on Twitter or social media or even on the podcast, like that's such a huge thing where it's like you build up characters and storylines and relationships and then you're like, eh, that's not, and it's like that's not cool. Like it should be out there. And I love that Our Flag is that show. Like I love Our Flag, number one because it's a pirate show, but number two because like it really just is like, here it is.
Right. And again, that is why the fandom has bloomed the way it is, because you give the girls, gays, and theys this much to work with, and we will take it and run with it. But it's also hilarious and beautiful, and the soundtrack is amazing, and the acting is so good. Oh, it's just overwhelming. It's overwhelmingly good.
I have to ask, just out of curiosity, and again, going on my knowledge that I still haven't finished the show yet, do you have a favorite character?
Steve Bonnet. Steve Bonnet lives in my head rent free every moment of the day.
What is it about Steed that you love so much?
I mean, my favorite characters are always the sunshine, power of friendship characters, Aang, Steven Universe, even Finn, I guess, from Adventure Time a little bit. So that's part of it. I just am attracted to those characters the most. But I don't know, man. He's so stupid, and he's autistic coded, which I think is delightful, and like his arc is beautiful, and I love his stupid outfits. Like, oh, I just love him so much.
When I heard it was a pirate show, I was like, okay, this is like they're gonna have a pirate show. And I kept hearing about the representation side of things, but the first thing was pirate show. I was like, okay, I'm cool. I'm down with it. I'm ready to watch it. And then just watching these knuckleheads, like it's not, and Steed is like the primary one, but like everyone just seems to be like, what is going on with you? Like, how is this crew even functioning beyond like the first couple of weeks? Like, what is going on?
Right. I mean, yeah, and the ensemble is so funny and good too. And some people aren't jazzed with the pilot or even the first 2 episodes, but I will say that I am 4 for 4 on getting people to give it a full shot and them returning to me and loving it. So just keep that in mind, listeners, if you've not been hooked after the first episode. But the first 3 episodes that basically don't have Taika Waititi in them are like really important because they establish the whole ensemble cast. Because if Taika was in it too early, the focus would just be on Taika and Rhys Darby, the Steve Bonnet, the 2 main characters. Mm-hmm. So they really deliberately and delicately take their time to make you care about all these misfit pirates, and they give them, unique personalities and different ways to play with comedy, and it's just fantastic.
It is, and you're absolutely correct, because with me, when I started watching it, like I was watching, I was like, okay, I'm into it, but I wasn't hooked, and it wasn't until that 3rd episode when they're going to like the island and they're at the pirate bar.
Man for sale. Man for sale! Check out this booty I'm hooking.
that was the episode that hooked me, and I was like, okay, I'm good to go. Let's do this. Let's dive in. And I have to say, I love Jim. Jim is my favorite character, and I'm excited to see what happens with them in the future episodes, because clearly stuff is going on. I really want to see what plays out with them.
Yeah, I mean, they get the third most amount of character development after Steed and Ed. So, me too. Jim is really, really cool. And, I mean, again, like, just having a non-binary character who like they just start using their pronouns right away. Like, it's just incredible. It's just incredible. The writing staff of Our Flag Means Death has 3 non-binary writers on it.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah. Yes.
Holy guacamole!
So it's not just
wonderful.
in front of the camera; it's also behind it.
That and that is definitely something that is needed. Not only like with the show, but with a lot of the stuff that's going on with other shows. Like they have storylines that are happening. It's like, did you consult with somebody about
Yeah.
what you're doing?
Yeah.
It is definitely a show that I'm excited for, and I'm hopeful that more people get into it. And I know you said that you, as we got started, I know that you said that you had feelings because the HBO has not renewed it for a second season yet, which is really shocking, especially with all the conversation on social media about the show.
I surely hope this will be an irrelevant conversation by the time this airs. I even hope that you can cut it for time. That's how much I hope that this is an irrelevant conversation. But honestly, I'm not that worried. Of course I am. I have an anxiety disorder. But like, HBO has started like promoting it, which they didn't do before, right? This is a complete word of mouth success. It has been the most in-demand streaming show for 7 weeks in a row. It beat out Moon Knight for 7 weeks in a row. And but HBO has started posting to the social media channels more. They even have their Twitter liking renewal tweets. Like, they wouldn't be doing that if they weren't going to renew. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so who knows? There's a merger going on. We actually, today was the day we were hoping to find out because they announced a bunch of things. But it's also possible they're like riding the high of all the hype they're getting from not renewing, as a marketing strategy. But I'm optimistic. There's like teacups at Target and orange shirts at Old Navy that are getting sold out, and I just imagine some poor HBO executive crying himself to sleep because they don't have any official merch, and we are throwing money. We are throwing money at them.
Listen, if they don't want to make the merch, other people within the community go get you some money, go make that stuff and make that merch for people.
Yeah, absolutely. I have bought an obscene amount of merch myself. Me and my friend bought matching sweatshirts where hers has Taika Waititi's character and it says Team Edward, like in the Twilight font. And then mine says Team Steed and it like matches. So
oh my gosh,
yeah.
that is wonderful.
It is very good. Yes.
And to have it as like Twilight. Oh my gosh. That's something. But yeah, if you haven't seen Our Flag, go watch it. It's like the episodes are really like, they're not long. Like they're about 30-ish minutes, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to burn through them really quick, but don't go too quickly. Like me, you can take it slow. And the funny thing was just a day or two ago, because of course, like I'm thinking, yeah, they're totally on a ship, right? Like they're doing something in the ocean. I saw their green screens and blue screens. I was like, dang it! Like here I have this fantasy of them like actually shooting on a ship, like in the ocean.
I mean, it is pretty cool though. They're using these. I cannot think of what other movie like famously started using this. All right, never mind. But they have a cool like 360 screen, so
Yeah.
it's not even green screen most of the time. You're actually looking at what will be on camera when you're acting, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I can't remember which movie that I saw that was used for recently, but is like it's such a cool technology. Like, and I'm super like Star Trek person. I'm like, I need a holodeck. Please give me a holodeck. This is close to a holodeck. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm super happy.
Oh, The Mandalorian. It was The Mandalorian.
Oh yes, that's right. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a big Mandalorian fan too, so.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm super happy that I'm getting to finally talk to people about Our Flag. I think you're the second person that I've had on that has talked about it. And hopefully it just continues to grow and we get more Just more. Just give
Well,
us more.
even in the obscene reality where HBO doesn't renew, where it's not right, it's not even just that it's wildly popular. It's also that it is so queer. The optics on it would be horrible if they canceled this show. But even in that ridiculous reality, someone else will snatch it up. There's no way they don't.
Fingers crossed on that, regardless of if they renew it or somebody picks it up, because it's definitely a show that needs to continue on and be in our lives for more than just the one season. On top of Our Flag Means Death, you are into a genre which I'd never heard before called HopePunk, and you had likened it to shows like Parks and Rec, Ted Lasso, Schitt's Creek, and The Good Place. Where did like did you coin the word hope punk, or was it like out there? Like how did that come about?
I am pretty sure I saw it on a Tumblr post for the first time. Don't quote me. It might have been Twitter, but no, I did not coin the
Okay.
term. But hope punk is the antithesis to grimdark, right? So grimdark kind of crept into our reality with The Wire and Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, and well, I actually am a Game of Thrones hater from start to finish. But like The Wire and Breaking Bad are very good, right? But this idea of like everyone is terrible, people can die or get hurt at any time, life is bad, and people are evil, right? Like that's kind of what the core of those shows are, which sucks, man. Like, yeah, sure, they're good entertainment and you can do it well, but it just makes you feel bad at the end of it. So hope punk as a genre is sort of exploring the opposite of that, right? Like the thesis of hope punk is the world is a better place if we take care of each other. If we love each other, we become better people by taking care of others. And I always like to use Russian Doll as well. I have not seen the second season. I hear it's fantastic.
Same.
But I because it's so different than the other shows that we listed, right? But Russian Doll has the same message of you become better when you try to help others, and you can't help others without becoming better. It's just wonderful, and I, as an animation fan, I think that sort of genre is more common, but it's really wonderful to see it with like adult shows. And I recently saw Everything Everywhere All at Once, and it's absolutely hope punk. It's maybe the best movie I've ever seen.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
I've heard only good things about it, but it's like, dang, I'm still not ready to go to a theater, but I don't even know honestly if the theaters where I am even have it still in the theater at all at this point.
It's the second movie I've seen in theaters, since COVID. We went to like a 12-seat theater in the middle of the day, but
okay.
And the last movie I saw was The Green Knight. And The Green Knight is the worst movie I've ever sat all the way through, bar none. And Everything Everywhere All at Once is as good as The Green Knight is bad. And I have not stopped talking about The Green Knight for about a year and a half and how bad it was. So that should tell you something about Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's stunning. Don't look up a single thing about it.
Now with the hope punk shows like Parks and Rec, Ted Lasso, Schitt's Creek, The Good Place, did like which shows do you feel you're like more drawn to, or more like, I guess, represent that hope punk like telling?
I think The Good Place is the most explicit, because that's literally the core of the show, is that people grow and change and better themselves by helping others. And it's just so beautiful. And oh man, The Good Place is just a masterpiece. It's arguably the best show of all time. I use the adverb arguably on purpose because it's so subjective. You obviously can't, definitively say what's the best show of all time, but you could argue that The Good Place is the best show of all time. And I don't know. it's very special to feel that way about a show that makes you just want to do good and be good and help others.
The Good Place was one of the few shows, probably in the past number of years, that I made an effort to actually watch when it was airing, or like immediately after when it became available, like on Hulu or whatever streaming service it was on, because like it mattered that much that I like kept up with it. And it was one of the few shows of recent memory that I felt like not only did the finale stick its landing, but like I cried tears for that show. Like
Oh my gosh.
it just got me, and it's like I don't normally do that. There's been very few shows that do that at all, and that show just like it just took me out.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, Schitt's gets close. Schitt's has has the first season, which is a little bit shakier, but that Good Place doesn't have. But it also kind of sticks the landing, I think.
Oh yeah, I loved I love Schitt's Creek. I do think, you know, it definitely stuck its landing, and like you said, with that show, there was some like storylines or characters that were there, and then they're like, okay, you know what, let's move on from that and focus on this storyline and that storyline and these characters, and it made the show better. It just took, you know, a little bit of time to work those kinks out, I think.
Which is 100% fine. You know, I
Yeah.
think most shows you got to give them a season at least, and like season one, getting their feet under them. Season two, learning the characters. 3, 4, 5, the best seasons. 6, emotional catharsis if you get that far. Something big happens, like a wedding or a baby. And then I don't think sitcoms should be more than 6 seasons long.
I agree, and not only that, like I need show like I need seasons to be, you know, 10 to 13 episodes max at this point, because
Yes, and that's another thing Good Place did, right? Kristen, what's her name?
Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell wrote it into her contract. No more than 16. 13 with an option to go up to 16. And that made the show incredible.
Yeah, it's just the amount of like when you have like the 22, 24 episode seasons, it's just it's too much, and sometimes it's just like, and I guess the best thing I can say is like it's like filler episodes sometimes, like from anime, like just you don't need to give us all of it. You can like cut it down and just give me like the really good stuff.
And filler can be incredible when it's done right, right?
Right.
Like Tales of Iroh, Tales of Ba Sing Se from Avatar, one of the most beloved episodes of Avatar of all time. Is definitely filler. But you have to earn it, I think. You have to earn it.
Oh yeah. Now, if you're if in all of these shows, and I haven't seen Ted Lasso, so I can't comment on that. But like, what characters are you drawn to in these shows? Like, who do you kind of like navigate towards?
Well, broken record here, but the sunshine power of friendship, autistic coded ones. Leslie Nope, Ted as well. I don't know if he's. I would call him autistic coded. He could be. Who else? Alexis. Although I think all of the Schitts or all of the Roses are autistic myself. And I mean David is wonderful, but Alexis is probably my favorite. And then in The Good Place, it's Chidi. Love Chidi.
You know, The Good Place has like just those wonderful memes sometimes, and I find like the memes from The Good Place are wonderful, especially like with Chidi. It's like, you know, I think it recently is like Star Trek, like, oh, Star Trek is doing these storylines, and it's like there's Chidi saying Star Trek's been doing it since, you know, the 1960s, and then the like the gifs that I use all the time when I'm reacting to stuff is primarily Schitt's Creek stuff. Like there's just so many good reactions and quotes. It's just made for just responses.
Yeah, and I'm in a Facebook group called The Good Place Shirt Posting. Very, very good name. And the memes there, it's maybe the best meme group I'm in, honestly.
With Ted Lasso, because I haven't seen that show, what is it about that show in particular that like folds it into like this hope punk genre?
I mean, the character of Ted is almost saccharine. Like in fact, his marriage falls apart because he's so relentlessly positive. And so you have this like wonderful man who cares so much for his players and his friends, and is so devoted to seeing the best in people. And you have this character who is so wonderful, genuinely, and also he is losing it. Like he like him going to therapy is a big part of the show, right? And so it's like you have this contrast of sometimes the caretakers need to be taken care of, and it's really beautiful.
It's definitely a show that's on my list. It's just dang, how many bajillion streaming services do I have to subscribe to? And I think I have like a free like Apple subscription at some point, and there's like there's like so many Apple shows that I keep seeing ads for. I'm like, but I have like 30 other shows that I'm watching too. It's so
It's
much
funny because
media.
I literally, I was like, I refuse. It's too many, and so my parents gave me their login. They got it, so that's how I watched Ted.
It is something to where like, and I was telling somebody today, because today we're recording on a Wednesday, and I said, do you know how many shows just dropped their episodes on this Wednesday? Like, I have probably 8 hours of shows to watch
Oh
that
no.
just released today, and it's like, and it's not only that, like there's going to be more shows that are released that, throughout the rest of the week. And it just continues on, and I tried my best to keep up, but I just can't keep up.
My primary media is actually podcasts, and I feel that way about podcasts sometimes.
Oh my goodness. I used to listen to podcasts religiously. Like, here I am making a podcast, but I used to listen to them like all the time, and then I got a job working from home, so my commute went from an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half every day to I walk to my desk in my house, and
Sure.
that is my commute. And I just don't, and it feels terrible because I have so many podcasting friends and I want to support their stuff and listen to their shows, and it's like I have no time to listen on top of like everything else that I'm doing.
There's so much good stuff out there.
There
Can't
is.
do it all.
Yep, you gotta pick and choose the battles, unfortunately.
I had to like have a little fight with my friend about our flag moon's death, honestly, because I obviously throw her Media Rex fandom is my life all the time, and I don't get pushy about it, but I had to be like, I'm always right. I am always right. You always are so happy when you finally cave and watch the stuff I tell you to watch, and this is one I'm going to push. You have to watch it. And guess what? We wore matching Team Edward and Team Steed shirts, so
You were right
I
once
was
again.
right.
Once again. Okay, so we got our Flag Means Death. Everyone needs to go watch it. We got the hope punk genre like Parks and Rec, Ted Lasso, Schitt's Creek, and The Good Place. You need to watch these shows. And the good place is by and far one where if you invest the time in it, the payout will be worth it. Like 100%. And like I said, I cried at the end, and I don't really do that a lot. Like, I don't really cry at stuff, but I cried.
I mean, it's a master class in writing also. Like I am kind of a writer, and I would just I don't know. It's incredible. The pace they keep up on that show with like any like things happen 3, 4, 5 times a season that would be a season finale in any other show. It's incredible.
That is 100% correct. And I think not only do they have like a great cast of like main characters, their secondary characters, they're like their character actors, or the ones that like show up on like their recurring background type characters, are wonderful too. And it's just you get to know them, and you're like, I really like that character. They might not be a good character, but I like them. They're very fun.
Yeah, there's not really anyone unlikable in that cast, I don't think.
100%. So we got all these shows, and then I feel like, you know, here's Avatar: The Last Airbender, which may be one of the most discussed shows on this
I
podcast
saw
ever
that,
at
yeah.
this point. Like I at some point I used to keep track of like, okay, how many things, but Avatar is the one show where I don't care. Like I will talk about it every week if I have to, or if
I
I get the
mean,
chance to, because
arguably the best show of all time, baby. For sure, arguably the best show of all time.
I definitely rank it as like one of the best like animated shows of all time. With the caveat, arguably it could definitely be a contender for one of the best shows of all time. How did you first get into Avatar?
I did another podcast recently and they asked me this question, and the sad fact is I don't know. I'm 32. I believe, in my early 20s when I got into it, and so I'm a fake millennial. I didn't watch it as a child, but I don't know, man. I wasn't a fan of animation. Not a fan either. Just it wasn't really a genre I was super into at the time. So it was interesting that I got so into it. I did watch season 3 and 4 of Korra live, so I could date myself specifically. But I
Okay.
don't remember. It might have been one of my friends who said, watch this. But I think I just kind of was like, oh, this is in the miasma of pop culture. I'll watch it.
I remember like I had we were moving around. My wife was doing like travel nursing, and I had stumbled across the first episode, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting." And I liked the style. I liked what was going on, and I started watching it. But then with how the show was, sometimes like I'd miss episodes, and then I'd jump in and be like, "Oh, they're doing this. It's a what was it? The eclipse," and I'm like, okay, and then I'd miss more episodes, and
Oh,
I'd be
that's
like, oh,
devastating to me. As a completionist, that is
oh,
devastating to me.
yeah. I don't think I watched the whole series until like the show was over, and then it had come out on DVD, and then finally I was like, oh, I get to watch all of it in order now, and I can get to see the masterpiece that this is.
My husband, I got into Steven Universe, and that was it for me. Animation is still to this day my favorite genre, and so I rapidly and obsessively consumed many other cartoons. And my husband was kind of not like a not. Can I swear?
Yeah.
My husband was not an asshole about it, but he was like, I'm just not interested. But finally, he was like, all right, let's watch Adventure Time. And he loved it. And so I was like, okay, next we're watching Avatar. Like, of course. And I could tell throughout the first season he was kind of like, because it's the classic first season of animation where they're kind of building the world for you
Right.
and introducing you to the characters. And then the episode in season 2 where Iroh gets blasted by Azula and they like have the like Western showdown, he
Hmm.
turns to me and he goes, okay, this show is fantastic. And now he has very serious opinions about the live action Netflix adaptation. So we've converted him. We've converted him.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that's a whole nother beast right there. With thoughts and opinions.
Many. Capital T, capital O.
With Avatar, I always like to ask my guests that come on about, if you were a bender, what would your element be?
What would I want it to be, or what would it be?
What would you like it to be? You
I
don't.
would like it to be air because they can fly. I know not technically, don't at me, Zahir stands, but come on, they can fly. Okay? I don't understand why anyone would choose anything different. They can fly.
I feel that. I feel that. I always you know they're the thing that I always resolve myself to is like I would probably be like a non-bender, honestly. But
Oh, absolutely.
but
Same.
if I got the ability to be a bender, I most likely would be like some rando earthbender that just like moves stuff around and be like, you know, I'm like the earthbender that doesn't use their powers for anything but just to like, do random stuff. It would never
You
amount to
move
anything.
the Boston Say Metro along.
Right, yeah, like I'd be like the menial earthbender. Yeah, that would be me. Now, again, wonderful characters, wonderful cast of from Avatar. Who's your favorite? Who do you love? And I think you said Aang earlier, so
Yeah, the Sunshine Friendship one, Aang.
yeah.
Yes, I love him very much. He's very dear to me. There aren't many characters like him, or at the very least, he was the harbinger of more characters like him. So I don't know. He's just like the overwhelming tragedy that he overcomes and comes out on the other side still soft and good and loving peace. And like you can't extricate the fact that he's trying to honor these people that are gone, and that's why he is the way he is. But he's also, Rava chose him because of his spirit. So I don't know. He's just wonderful.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, and I always point to like one of the episodes in the first season when they go to the air temple, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna like hang out with the monks again, right?" And it's like finding dead bodies all over the place in a kids show, mind you. Like there's dead bodies everywhere, and it's like, "Oh, the Fire Nation killed them all," and just to like think about that from a perspective of like Aang at his age having to just go from being unfrozen after 100 years to learning that everyone that he knew and loved is dead, and it's like just for a kid show to like just approach that for kids and be like, look, this is how certain things are, and not talk down to them. It just is like, that was one of those things when I watched the show. I was like, dang, this is going to be like one of those shows that I just get sucked into.
Yeah, I mean, shows like that, they make kids into better adults, and kids can handle a lot. They can handle heavy stuff. Exactly what you said. Don't talk down to them, because trust that they can understand, and at least on the level, that is appropriate for their age. And I don't think Avatar ever talks down to their audience, talks down to its audience.
Absolutely. And I have to ask, because I'm curious, because Korra is such uh Korra can be or has been such a like a not a divisive issue,
Oh,
but
I
so,
would say divisive.
but there are people that love Korra, and there are people that are like, I don't like Korra at all. Where do you fall with that show?
I adore Korra. I love Korra. It's a different show than Avatar. Is it as good? No. Are there things that are better? Yes. And I probably don't. If you talk about Avatar all the time, I'm sure this has been brought up before. But the worst parts of Korra were Nickelodeon's fault. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yep.
And even with the worst parts of Korra, it's still extremely good. And it's beautiful, and it's funny, and it's poignant, and I love Korra. I love the comics. I love the novels. I love everything about Avatar.
Same here. I wish I had more time, like, because I was at the library with my kids the other day, and I saw the Kyoshi series there. I was like, I want to read that. And then I said to myself, not only do I have like 30 books probably at the house right now just sitting unread for the past 4 or 5 years, I can't find the time to just sit down and bang out a book. But I've heard those are just so good.
They are stunningly good. Both of them are very good, and the same author is coming out with a Yang Chen novel in July. So pretty excited for that one too.
I love that they continue to build the world of Avatar. I'm excited to see what the studio does and like the projects that they're going to do and release in the future. And yeah, we'll see how Netflix handles their show.
We sure will.
Fingers crossed. I'll do a dance or something. I'm not sure.
I mean, okay. Here's the thing about the live show. I am holding out hope. The cast looks amazing. Netflix is throwing millions and millions of dollars at it. Like, I'm not sure. I'm hoping very much that it's going to be good. However, it doesn't need to be live action, and it's not going to be as good, because it can't be, because you can't do bending even with millions and millions of dollars of special effects as well in a live action as you can in an animated show. And it's so frustrating as an animation fan that it seems like, the aspiration is a live action. No, animation stands on its own, and we shouldn't have to, it shouldn't be a next step every single time.
Mm-hmm.
It's anyway. I I'm very hopeful. I'm sure. I'm pretty sure it's going to be good, but I don't need it. How are they going to do Appa? How are they going to do Appa?
I do not know. Um, I didn't even, that thought hadn't even crossed my mind, honestly. But my thing that I always go back to, and this is like from a way back episode of the podcast, is that like Beauty and the Beast. So I was talking about Beauty and the Beast, and I said, Beauty and the Beast, the animated movie, was nominated for an Academy Award at a time when there was not an animated award like category. And then you look at Beauty and the Beast live action and you're like, there's no way this movie is going to be nominated for an Academy Award. It's just not going to happen. And it's like there are so many things where I don't need a live action for an animated thing. The animated thing works perfectly fine. Like there's not a need to just, oh, well, it's animated, so therefore, like you said, the next step needs to be a live action. No, that is not what the next step needs to be. Maybe just give me more animated stuff in that same world.
And I mean, with this new Avatar Studios gig, Avatar has the potential to be the next Marvel, the next Star Wars, like truly. And because that universe is so big and good and can expand pretty much ever outward, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Some clever person can come up with some new cool form of bending. I would like a sequel series that's Benders in Space. I know that's a controversial opinion, but I think Benders in Space would be awesome.
That, like, I'd never even considered that as an option, and it sounds, it like I'm trying to work my head around it. Like, and now I'm going to be thinking about that all day, or all night. I'll be pondering this topic.
We can skip the next Earth Avatar after Korra because we have Kyoshi, so we have an Earth Avatar in the canon now, and go straight to the Fire one after that one because I put a lot of thought into this, and perhaps not if there's no oxygen in space, but fire is the only element that comes from within, right? The other three elements, they need to have their element present to be able to bend it.
Okay.
And so firebenders potentially have a very strong advantage in space for that reason.
There's not a lot of times where people leave me speechless on my podcast, but this is the time where I'm going to just say, I don't know what to say, but I'm going to have to like take this whole concept and now like just sit with it for a little bit. And I blame you. I blame you for that.
I'm sorry, and you're welcome.
But yes, I was going to say thank you. So thank you for that. Now with Avatar, you are doing a convention that you successfully kickstarted called CabbageCon.
My CabbageCon.
Now, why? Like, as far as like how, like why are you doing a convention? How did you even decide to do a convention? Like, how does that even work? Like, as like I'm totally outsider looking in at conventions. I'm like, that's it. Just there seems to be a lot of moving parts to it.
Oh boy, there sure are. 2013, I went to my first con. It was a Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones con, and I fell in love instantly. I sort of started getting more and more involved. I became the co-chair of that con, and then I started my Steven Universe con in 2016. It was called Beach City Con back then, and now that Steven's over, our last year was supposed to be 2020, and something happened, I guess. So last year was our last year instead. But now that that's over, I wanted to move on to something different, and I think Avatar is screaming for a fan con. So I'm ready. I'm excited to bring it to people.
Now, what I guess one of the things I'm curious about, as like the person behind the con, or the mastermind, if you will, like when you're like, okay, I'm going to do a convention, like that's like a lot, and Kickstarter, but like money and time, and how do you make the time and get the necessary funding, again, Kickstarter, but I know that there's more to it.
Um, yeah, I mean, I chose to do a Kickstarter because COVID wiped out any profits I had. I might not have done a Kickstarter if I still had, my surpluses from previous years.
Hmm.
But it's just about getting the word out there and boots on the ground and like I have a reputation now, which is very helpful. Like people are following me from my Stephen Con to CabbageCon. I often say it's a second full time job for which I don't get paid. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't have to do much. I didn't have to pay for advertising for the Stephen Con because it was in the middle of the show and it was very, very popular. I
Hmm.
did pay for advertising for CabbageCon for the Kickstarter, and it was worth every penny. But that's an aspect too, right? Like I am an immensely privileged person, and I was able to put some of my own savings into sort of the marketing aspect of it, and now I can pay myself back because the Kickstarter was successful. But it's hard to do it without money to start, without seed money.
Yeah, that is like one thing where like the the thought, like at one point I was like, I would love to like do a convention that's just about fandom, right? Like, and I'm like sitting here, it's like I have no money. I have no money to pay people to show up to this, and what would they even do? Like, I don't even like going and like talking to people in person. Like I would like, it's something far out of the realm, but it's like, dang, that's so cool. Like it's so cool that you are doing this and like having this fan convention, because like I think back to like the like when I first got into like fandom with Star Trek, and like going to like small Star Trek conventions, that it was like one person or a couple people like doing it and bringing in like one or two people for a day, like just a single day convention, and how that was. And I'm like, this could be just like that, but you have more days, and it's Avatar.
That's kind of exactly what it is. You nailed it.
Now, the dates are March 30th to April 2nd of 2023, Columbus, Ohio. Was there a particular reason for like the Ohio location?
I live here, and the con lives in my basement.
Oh, okay. Well, that definitely works.
I had a lot of like mean comments on the Facebook post, like, "Ew, Ohio! Why is it in Ohio?" And I'm like, y'all, you don't have to leave the hotel. I promise you can pretend you're not in Ohio. I promise. Ohio has nothing to do with it. I just will never travel for a con again. It's too expensive. It's too much of a hassle. If someone wants to pay me, I'll go somewhere else. But instead, I'm going to do it where I live. Luckily, we have an airport that's pretty big, so.
And there are conventions in Ohio. Like I know like that they exist and people go to them. So it's not like, it's not out of the realm of possibility of people coming, to for Avatar, the Cabbage Con. It's Avatar. People love Avatar. They'll come.
And people travel for seats for, and people travel for single fandom cons too. I've already sold some Europe tickets for
Nice.
Cabbage, Canadian and European tickets. Yeah, I mean, again, like the single fandom cons are so special because you have an instant connection with anyone who walks through that door. You have something in common with that person, and you have something you can talk about and love together. And so, people will travel for that.
So now that the Kickstarter's over, you've got the money to put towards the con. What is the next steps? Because we're recording in May, so this episode comes out July. But what is happening like behind the scenes as we're talking like now?
I mean, selling tickets is unfortunately the endless slog. I would eventually, hopefully, goodness, I will get to a number that I feel comfortable with, where I can like take the take my foot off the gas pedal a little bit on that. But we're not there yet. So that's like sort of, money is a big part of my job, which is not fun, but it has to be done. But we're also like, we have like all of our applications open. So like volunteers, programming, vendors, and then I have a program called Social Sponsors, which is like, hey, if you've got a lot of Instagram followers or a YouTube channel, we'll give you a free ticket and kind of cross promote on our social media and yours. So it's sort of gathering the people who are going to be involved, and yes, sourcing guests. Everyone's always like, when's Dante Bosco going to sign up? I'm like, do you know how expensive Dante Bosco is?
I don't know how expensive he is, but I know he's been like to a number of cons because I'm down here in Orlando, and it's like I saw his name pop up. I was like, dang, he's at like 5 cons in the space of like a month and a half down here.
Well, the cast in general, Aang's voice actor doesn't do anything with show business anymore. Katara's
Right.
voice actor doesn't need to do cons. She's got a flourishing career. But the others in the cast, everyone but Dante, they're doing tours all over cons together, and they know the same thing I do, right? Which is that Avatar is blooming again. It's flourishing. It's growing. It's only going to get bigger, and they're making their money. And I, that's great for them. I love that for them.
Absolutely. Do you have like dream people, or is it more of a like, hey,
Yes,
I don't want to
Dante
talk
Bosco
about
is
it?
my dream, but he'd have to come down on his guarantee for me to bring him. But my honestly my first choice is FCE, who wrote the Kyoshi novels, but his publicist won't answer my emails. It's hard when you're a first year con, people don't want to take the chance, and I get that. I hope my experience speaks for itself, but I get it. But yeah, FCE, I would love to bring Sifu Kisu, who is the martial artist consultant on Avatar for sure, maybe both Avatar and Korra. So those are sort of my 2 guests I'm really very interested in. I know my attendees will probably want a voice actor, but they need to buy tickets if they want me to bring a voice actor. And I've been in touch with the agent for all of them. So, they know about us, and they want in. It's just a question of I'm a very small con. I cannot bring the whole cast. There's just no way. But I could bring 1 or 2. We'll see. I brought a couple. I had voice actors at the Stephen Con, so we'll see.
Fingers crossed on that. Buy some tickets, people, so that way you can not only attend the con, but then see the people that you'd like to have there be there for you.
And like, truly, if you want to come for free, volunteer for us, it's more important for me to have bodies at the con to bring guests than it is for me to have money. Yes, I still need more money. Cons are very, very expensive. But, with the Kickstarter, I'm in very good shape overall. So I'm more interested at this point, especially in terms of guests, having people actually attend. So volunteer for us. We'll get you a free ticket.
With the convention, I know it's 2 full days and then 2 half days to make up for like a total of 3 days, because I did my research on that.
Okay, it's definitely not that I was putting dates on things based on my contract and I just forgot that included Thursday. Definitely not that. That's not why I was advertising it as a 3-day convention at all. But I mean, we do have stuff on Thursday night. I like to encourage people to show up then to register early, and so we have a little bit of programming and etc.
What is the plan for programming? Just out of curiosity, I know I can imagine cosplay contest, a lot of different panels, stuff of that nature. The artists like Artist Alley or vendors and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Fan conventions are nothing without fan-led programming. So it's always exciting to see what crops up. I just, I don't know. I don't know what's going to crop up there, except for what's been already applied. But in terms of stuff I actually want to bring as the con, I must have some kind of martial arts representation, right? Like I'd love to do workshops, calligraphy workshop, maybe poetry workshop, maybe yoga. I want to be very extremely mindful of honoring the fact that this is a show with no white people in it,
Hmm.
and I'm white, so like that's enough. There's enough white people involved, so I'm hoping to get like a nice diverse group involved, and maybe a tea shop. Love that. There's like a local Korean tea shop I really like. I'm hoping to get that family involved. Um, yeah, I it's exciting. It the first year is kind of thrilling in both good and bad ways because I just don't know what it's going to look like. I can guess based on my previous cons, but I don't know.
Hmm. If and looking to the future, is this something that you would love to have like as a yearly like fan con, or is it something where you'd be like, okay, maybe take a break a year and then do it again, or like
I
what?
absolutely would like to do it annually.
Okay.
My rule that I always tell myself is, do it until it's not fun anymore. Let yourself um, have an option of an out. But it's my plan to do it, potentially forever. With how Avatar is growing, it would be cool to move to a bigger space if we sell out the first couple of years, that sort of thing. But just keeping my head down. I mean, it still has the potential to crash and burn at this point. So, we might have a much smaller con than I expected, but I'll just be in tens of thousands of dollars of debt, and we'll have a wonderful weekend anyway. It'll be fine.
Well, I mean, the joke is always, I like with there's that one convention that had a ball pit, and it's like,
DashCon, ugh.
yeah.
No, I'm not saying ugh to DashCon. In fact, the more I learn about planning cons, the more sympathy I have for those organizers. I'm saying ugh because people have been flinging DashCon jokes at me for the last 6 years, and I am tired. I am tired of it.
I could understand that. And I again the people that do this, as in like you doing something of this measure, is just so like I cannot even understand the magnitude of like what is going into it. Like, and for people to step up and be like, here, you know what, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to use my money to try and make this happen. Like, it's really something special.
I like to say that cons are made on the backs of confident autistics and project managers. I am the former, so I need to surround myself with project managers, and we do a good job together.
Awesome. Now, for people that are interested in CabbageCon, or finding out more information, or just finding out more about what you do as a whole, like what are some of the best places to do so?
The best place is our website. I take a lot of pride in having an accessible, easy to navigate informational website, just cabbagecon.com. Um, and then you can follow us on social media. We cross post to all three platforms, so if you follow us one place, you'll get it. Although please follow us on all places, that would be great. It's at Cabbage Convention on Instagram and Facebook, and at Avatar FanCon on Twitter.
Awesome. I'll make sure to have all the links in the show notes and on my Facebook page and website. And I just want to say, because I'm on the website now, because that's what I do. I like that you have like a council, and you have like what they do and who's a part of it and what they're doing. It's really cool. I love that.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I mean, I went from doing the con almost by myself to now I have a team of like 20 people, and that's incredible. Do I still wear a lot of hats? Yes. But I'm so thankful and grateful that I have a lot of really great people helping me out on my board, and I guess the Cabbage Council is what we call ourselves.
Yeah, it's cool. It's awesome. I just love that, like, everyone's there, and you got like links to everything, like if they've got like links to check them out. But it's awesome that you have like a wonderful group of people around you, like to make this happen.
I mean, fandom is truly special. I love it so much, and I hope I do doing what I do. But I don't know. It's been a part of my life as long as I can remember, and it's really special. And I want to create a space for that community to come and celebrate together and love each other, you know?
Absolutely. So for people that are listening, click the links, go to the social medias, make sure you follow, you do the sharing, you do the things about the algorithms, because we talk about it all the time about having to like figure it out and get people's eyes on it, and then go to the CabbageCon website and buy your ticket so you can go support the convention and go hang out with other Avatar people, because that sounds like a fun time.
And I'll set up a code for you, Tails, for $5 off tickets.
Oh, snap. I will make sure to put that all over the place.
Woo!
And so that way people can type that in and get a discount. And that's awesome. That I don't even know what to say. So people listening, I'm going to make sure that you get it drilled into your head to go out there and do it and buy a ticket.
Do it.
But I want to say thank you, KK, for taking the time out of your schedule to come and talk fandom and CabbageCon with me today, because it's been a pleasure. Thank you for reaching out, because again, not many people. I don't get a lot of people coming to me. I come to them, and that's totally cool. But it just makes my day when somebody's interested in coming on the podcast.
Well, this has been a delight. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for listening to Tales from the Fandom. Subscribe to us on iTunes or your podcast app of choice. Follow us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/talesfromthefandom to see photos, links, leave feedback, and check out upcoming guests. If you'd like to be a guest, email David at talesfromthefandom@gmail.com.